officer is of an international award for his training skills. Officer Dave Staskiewicz, he was recognized today as the 2012 Range Master of the Year.
The award is given out by Action Target, the world leader in shooting range technology and facilities. Staskiewicz received the honor for his training for more than 24 local and federal agencies.
And producer Roger Hamer takes us behind the curtain of a training session for Omaha police officers.
It's the last thing a peace officer wants to do.
Police, don't move!
Discharge his firearm.
Society's changing, and we want them to be able to react if that situation ever occurs.
And occasionally use that weapon. Officer Dave Staskiewicz trains Omaha police officers for the rare occasion when an officer will have to use deadly force. He says officers find themselves facing the unknown in countless situations. It's his job to make sure those officers stay safe.
Our biggest weapon is our mouth. If we can de-escalate something, that's awesome. But unfortunately, in our society, not everybody has that intent, and they're not going to listen to that, and sometimes you're going to have to use force.
Staskiewicz says shooting is a perishable skill, and regular training is necessary. So he puts officers in real-world situations. This session places officers in the dark with just a flashlight and lights from a cruiser. A suspect turns and shows a gun.
We try to do drills to get their heart rate up, see how they're going to react and shoot with their heart rate up.
Staskiewicz says there's an 18 to 20% hit ratio, so they shoot for the upper torso. The goal in that split second, to end a situation.
We always get asked, well, why don't you just shoot the gun out of their hand? And if a person can hit the human body at 18 to 20% of the time, how are you going to hit an arm? And, this math doesn't add up.
Staskiewicz says officers experience physiological changes in heightened situations. He says this training is done with one goal in mind: keeping all of us safe. Roger Hamer, Channel 6 News.
Officer Staskiewicz says that situational training has changed over the years.
Officers used to train for domestic violence calls being the most potentially volatile. He says these days every situation is potentially fatal. Well, still ahead.